Before you adjust your thermostat tonight, think about this for a second. Right now, you're only one button away from feeling warm. But for tens of thousands of years, warmth wasn't a convenience. It was the difference between life and death. Imagine waking up in a world where temperatures dropped below -40 degrees, where a single night without shelter could kill an entire family, and where there was no electricity, no insulated homes, and no modern winter clothing. Yet somehow, ancient humans didn't just survive. They mastered one of the harshest environments our planet has ever seen. And what they built during the Ice Age was so intelligent that some of the same survival principles are still used today. So, how did they do it? Let's go back over 20,000 years and find out. Most people picture Ice Age humans as frightened cave dwellers huddled around a tiny fire. But archaeology paints a completely different picture. They were planners, builders, engineers. Instead of relying only on caves, many groups created shelters designed specifically to trap heat and block freezing winds. Every material served a purpose. Animal hides locked in body heat. Dry grass added insulation. Wood branches and packed earth kept the icy wind outside. It wasn't random. It was engineering through experience. Generation after generation, they learned what worked and passed that knowledge on. Fire was only one part of the system. Keeping warm wasn't just about making bigger flames. It was about using heat wisely. The fire was placed where it could warm the entire shelter while allowing smoke to escape. Families slept in the warmest areas. Food was prepared near the fire, while tools were repaired in slightly cooler sections. Even the layout of their homes showed careful planning. Nothing inside was placed by accident. Building materials were just as remarkable. In parts of Eastern Europe, archaeologists discovered shelters built from the massive bones of woolly mammoths. Huge skulls formed strong foundations. Curved tusks became natural support beams. Animal hides stretched across the frame created thick windproof walls. To us, it may sound primitive, but these homes were incredibly effective at holding heat during brutal winters.
Clothing was another life-saving invention. Ancient people didn't simply wear animal skins. They carefully selected different furs for different jobs. Soft fur trapped warm air close to the body. Thicker outer layers blocked wind and snow. Bone needles allowed them to stitch clothing that actually fit, preventing cold air from leaking inside. In many ways, the basic idea wasn't very different from modern winter jacket. Food required just as much planning. Winter hunting wasn't always successful, so during warmer months, communities preserved meat and stored it underground, where naturally frozen soil acted like a giant freezer. This allowed families to survive long periods when fresh food became impossible to find. Survival wasn't about strength, it was about preparation. Life inside these shelters wasn't only about staying alive. When darkness covered the frozen landscape, people gathered around the fire. They shared stories, taught children, passed down hunting skills, explained traditions. Long before schools existed, the campfire became humanity's first classroom. Knowledge survived because people shared it, and those lessons helped future generations survive even harsher winters. Every season required planning months in advance. Shelters had to be repaired, clothing had to be replaced. Firewood, or other fuel, had to be collected before snow covered the landscape. One mistake during autumn could become a deadly problem in winter. Ancient humans weren't simply reacting to nature. They were constantly preparing for it. Eventually, the Ice Age came to an end. The climate warmed, forests spread. Many of these survival techniques slowly disappeared because they were no longer necessary, but their legacy never truly vanished. Modern survival experts, Arctic researchers, and emergency shelter designers still use many of the same principles discovered thousands of years ago. The tools have changed, the science hasn't. So tonight, when you walk into a warm house, zip up your winter jacket or adjust your thermostat without thinking, remember this: comfort didn't appear overnight. It was earned through thousands of generations of human creativity, teamwork, and determination. The greatest survival tool our ancestors ever possessed wasn't fire, it wasn't mammoth bones, it wasn't even their shelters, it was the human mind. And that's the reason you're still here today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into humanity's incredible past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.